Shonda Davis of Shonda Realty. She was my school teacher, dance team coach in high school. All the guys had a crush on you because you're so young. She's like a mother figure, but really more of a big sister because she's not really old enough to be my mom. You know,
Not then.
no, no.
Not then.
But definitely someone I admire. One of the women that I always looked at as like goals. Like these are goals. Like the women in my life, there's only some, that are successful. It always be like when like I can do it, I can do it too, I can do it too, I can keep going. I don't know.
Wow,
So
that's
it's always
beautiful.
be like inspiration, motivation for me. So you're definitely one of those.
Appreciate that.
And we're on That's Major. She came for me to talk on That's Major. And we're just going to have a conversation and talk and kind of catch up. So let's see. The last time we saw each other was my wedding,
Yes.
which I really appreciate the support.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. And you deserve it.
Thank you. And I'm trying to say, then we kind of stay in touch and not always
Always.
just loving you and praying for you
Oh,
and wishing,
thank you.
positive energy from afar.
Thank you. It's a blessing to be loved because there are people where you think they love you and you give them a lot of love, but they may not love you as much. But
That is
I
true.
never questioned your love for me because we have such similar backgrounds.
Yes.
And even in high school, we had that. You're right, big sister, little sister connection.
Yes.
Even though I was a teacher and dance team coach. And, with me being dance team coach, it made me pretty close to the girls. Some of them still call me mama.
Yes. And we still reach out. You became a safety, I think, for a lot of us girls. And I think it's important that young girls have that. Because, sometimes, like, especially with me, I had my foster mom who was kind of strict, which I appreciate now,
Right.
and the godly teachings. But you need that outlet, somebody you can talk to about what this boy did or if you're having trouble. I remember going to you with some stuff.
Yeah.
and even though you kind of got onto us and, but you were right. It was good to have that,
Yeah.
and I don't think I was able to call you, now. So I don't think there's ever been a time I haven't been able to call you. So I
No,
think people need that.
course.
Yeah,
I think that God put people together, and we've been together since,
Yeah, I was gonna
what
say.
year were you in high school? I started teaching in 1999.
Ooh, that's about right. Let's see, because I would have been class '02.
Yep.
So that's Ooh, and it's
2025. Ooh,
Wow,
she old.
long time.
She old. That's right. You got grown kids, right?
Yes, my
Woo.
oldest will be 23.
Wow.
My youngest will be 22, June and July, and then I have a grandbaby, so I'm a grandparent.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
This sweet little grandbaby. I was kind of fussing at first. I was, being a grandma, I think a lot of times we get caught up on the title, but really it's a blessing.
Oh, it's a blessing.
I think I have started looking at life as when you have God-given titles like mother, aunt, sister, grandma. Those type of titles are,
Friend.
I think, the most important titles
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's a blessing. God gives you that for a reason. So, yeah.
I love my girls. I got 3. Sierra, Sienna, Celia.
Yes.
And now that they're past their teenage years, they're my best friends. And it's so beautiful to know that those girls are 10 toes down. And I became an early grandmother as well. And it's probably not a day that goes by that I don't tell my oldest granddaughter that she's the best thing that ever happened to me. Just to see them grow. And it's different from when you're raising kids because with me, being a mother was stressful. Like a lot of people, I just love being a mom, but it was difficult. I was working 2 jobs, raising my kids, daycare expenses, coming home cooking, like that balance, mother time, work was just really hard for me. But now that I have my grandkids and I have 3 total, it's just a blessing. Like my house is a toxic waste dump because they leave stuff everywhere and they jump on furniture and they write on walls and where I would like probably beat my kids. I'm like, okay, let's go clean this up, little kitties.
Yeah, and doing it together and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's a joy.
And it is. It really is. And it's a joy to watch. I've taught for 17 years. But my dance team, my sweet dance team. I guess because we were together
So
so
much,
much.
yes.
Fourth period practice, after school practice, before school, game day parades, competitions,
Traveling together.
And I mean, like, you girls are my family. And just to watch you grow, I can almost tell you what every one of the dance team members are doing now. But just to watch from afar, and just to think that
Yes.
God gave me such a blessing to be a part of something so dynamic. I changed your names to the
Dixie
the
Dabs.
Dixie Divas.
Oh, Dixie
yeah,
Divas.
because I was like, y'all aren't gonna be Dixie Dabs. I put fire batons in your hands. And
Oh my gosh, that was the
taught
first
you
time I ever
L's,
learned to do
the
And
twirl.
you taught us a lot of class with those like that hand gestures and
The
down
L's.
and all that stuff. Like I think I still walk and carry
Yep.
myself a certain way. Yes,
Shoulders back,
Yes.
stomach pumped in, L's.
yes.
And I can only teach you what I learned at Tuskegee Institute High School.
Well, you did a great job. Oh my goodness. Now I ended up leaving a little bit before my senior year. But I think what I'm appreciative of, you still treated me as a part of the team. You still stayed a part of my life. And I'm just grateful. I mean, I'm so grateful to have you still, like, to still be able to call you. And I don't know. And everyone, I guess I would say when it comes to like seeing everyone, I don't talk to most of the girls like that anymore. But when I talk about when I see them doing great things, and I be like, look at them, you better go, girl, or like they look good, their kids look good. And I think the most two that I'm always, or the one that I'm always kind of, well, I guess three. I'm gonna say Netta,
Oh, yeah.
You have Kalika.
Kalika, of course.
Yes.
I call Kalika, I want the girls to dance. She pulled them all together. Oh my God. But she had to meet me. She had to meet me separately and teach me slowly. and it's so funny because who was it? It wasn't Kalonda. One of the girls were like, hey, I bet you mess up. I said, I bet you I don't. I bet you mess up. If you mess up, that outfit mine.
Oh wow! And you did not.
I had to give her the outfit. I messed
You
up.
did,
Girl, yeah. I was like, she laughed at me. I got off one little 8 count, but that's okay. I got back in there.
I was gonna say what I saw, because unfortunately I wasn't able to attend. I hope you're still not mad at me. Don't
I'm
you
not
hold
upset.
it.
I'm
Don't
here
hold it against
now.
me. Yes. Okay. So what I saw, you did great. I thought everyone did great.
did
It
a
looked
great
good.
job.
So I did not know that you even messed up. That must have been an inside thing. What you always told us to keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Even in life.
Yes. And I was just about to say that. That's something that we take. That's the type of advice that you take with you through life. When you mess up, just keep going. Nobody knows about your slip-ups. Most of the time they don't see it unless you stop and magnify it. Yeah.
But even if they do
Keep going.
see your slip up, and even if you are the subject of all conversations, and even if people are cheering for your slip up, you just be quiet and you let God have the final say,
And he will.
and you keep going.
Yes. Yes.
Never stop. Never give up.
So I wanted to ask you, because you grew up in foster care too.
Mm-hmm.
The advice, because that's just wisdom, right? And I know a lot of my stuff comes from either what I heard, what was put in me, or just experience. How was it for you? Like, did you just pick up that knowledge and wisdom along the way? Or did somebody teach
No, I
you?
was a fool. I was a daredevil. If anybody dared me to do anything, I'm going to do it. I think, my Aunt Dora, she kind of took me in at 13, taught me to read and write because I did not know how. And I was just a case waiting for the jail cells or prison because, I just was a wild child. And it came from neglect and my family not wanting me. But in the end, I found out they tried to get me, but my mother was on drugs. And so the state of Pennsylvania would not let her have me, nor would they let my family have me because they lived in poverty, like severe poverty. And so my grandmother called her husband's, my granddaddy's brother, and my great aunt and uncle adopted me. Well, I was kind of so bad in school, they just passed me along.
Yeah.
And then my Aunt Dora, I was visiting her in Tuskegee, and my cousin Shell and my cousin Monty, all of us were playing spades. And we got set twice, so it's not the new spades. We actually took score. And I did not know how to subtract a positive number from our negative number. And so she taught me 1+1 the next day, all the way up to fractions, threw me in algebra. I did not go back home to my parents. I graduated from Tuskegee Institute out of pre-cal, went on to get 4 degrees, real estate license, broker's license, auctioneer's license. And from my aunt, she just really made me believe I can do anything. I mean, anything. And because of her belief in me, I just kept going. But then, even as an adult, you take those pains from childhood. And then they kind of hide away because they really can't heal until you face them.
That's true. Oh my goodness. Not to cut you off, but that's something I have learned recently in I guess in the last couple of years since I've been with my husband. But one thing I'd be telling people when they say, you have to let the past go and just move on. I said, no, you have to face the past, accept it for what it is, then you can go on. A lot of times we try to move past it and then we're not healing. So yeah, that is so true.
And I think my healing came with my husband too. Like my husband was a mental health counselor. And I prayed for him. I prayed for somebody to accept me for me because I'm such a diversified, complex person.
Yeah.
Like I read a book, but I shoot pool.
Yeah. We similar. Yeah.
I watch bibliography and I go play poker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll sell a house, but I shoot dice. I love the Lord. I read the Bible. I study.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? So I analyzed certain things and I needed somebody just to truly love me for me. Yeah. And I just prayed for him and he was my true blessing because he walks a life of peace. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care about what people say on the outside about him. He does what he wants to do. No is his favorite word. He knows boundaries. Yeah. And so me watching him in his security, I don't know. I think it's something about athletes. Athletes are very secure people. Like he was a big time athlete in high school and college and prom king. And I think that confidence was still instilled in him as a child. And he grew up with it. So stuff that I faced or I dealt with, he never did. Mm-hmm. But he helped in my healing process.
Yes. Excuse me, but I was going to say we're definitely similar backgrounds because you remember I was that daredevil. Mm-hmm. I'm always was doing something I had no business doing. Mm-hmm. Even after high school, I talked to all the wrong guys. I was out there just doing different stuff. I didn't have the family members, but as I grew and learned, because I just thought they didn't want me and all type of different little stuff. And some of that is true, but some of it is that my grandmother couldn't take me and she was sick. Her cancer came, and I didn't understand it as a child. I just thought she didn't want me, know. And so when you have that, and then I was just making, Lord knows, all type of wrong decisions along the way, looking for that type of love, wanting somebody because and I tell my husband all the time, I was like, I took a little bit from each home. Mm-hmm. So Janari comes up with, it's a lot there, I'm different in so many ways. Mm-hmm. And so when I got with him, our backgrounds was really different because we come from, I would call it, he comes from the other side of the track. He comes from the 2-parent home. He grew up in church. His family legacy is, from his grandfather was a bishop. He done a lot of community work, his aunts and uncles. So it was totally different when he got with me. And he just opened my eyes to a lot of stuff where I didn't even think I needed healing. And I had so much anger with my mom. And he was like, I never forget that. The first time he was like, you're not supposed to talk to your mom. Like he couldn't, he was so, like his expression and the way it opened my eyes, like, maybe I may be wrong. Like, that's not right. That type of stuff. I was in such a survivor mode. Just, I didn't want to go backwards. I didn't want, and I remember him telling me, look, I do. I remember we were talking, and I was like, man, you were so blessed. You had your mom, you had your dad. He was like, yeah, my family, kind of done it right, but you are a blessing to go through all you went through, you are, and I mean, for him to just see me in different eyes, because most guys, I had to play games, they just saw the outer appearance, they just wanted a pretty girl, or, but for him to see past that and really sell me something different, it was just, I think that's what the true attraction was for me, the way he thought, the way he looked at life differently. It was like, okay.
And a man that loves his mama.
Oh, that's the best part. Like you cannot go wrong. And a lot of girls, and I have seen where they be like, well, his mama don't like me, or they don't care for their mother-in-law and all this stuff. It's like, I don't know what y'all into, because if he can't love his mama right, he can't love you right. You
my
want
husband
the man
love his mama.
You want what they call the mama's boy. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna love you correctly.
Honor his mama.
Yeah.
And his sister works for me, and he loves his sister. It's so crazy. I went to this poker tournament, won, came back with the flu. And I was sick for 3 days in the bed, and not one time did he go anywhere other than to get me food, to give me medicine.
He just took care
to make me drink water. Like, I've never had anybody just take care of me. And his friends were like, hey, you want to watch the game? Nope. My wife is sick. I got to make sure she's okay.
Oh, see, that's the best part.
And cook for me and bring food. And it's beautiful. Like, my friends and I were talking the other day, and they were talking about all that their men have done for them. And I was like, well, let me tell you what Telly did for me. I asked him to open the Coke, and he didn't just open the Coke. He poured the Coke in my cup.
Yeah, it's the small things. Yes.
I've never had anybody to pour Coke in my cup.
See, and I think because of the background that we have, the brokenness, the lack of, when you get that, and see, God knows who to give, give, because you appreciate the small things. You have the women that he be like, oh, he bought this and he bought that and this and that. And I'd be like, I didn't feel like he coming home cleaning up. And guess what? I came home and he had already cleaned up.
Yeah.
Or he had folded the clothes. It'd be that type of stuff. Like, I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
And I remember when we were dating, I would call him. He'd be like, excuse me, this is my sleep time. You may not disturb me during my sleep time. I was like, oh my gosh, what boundaries you have. But then it's now that we're married, even if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm like, baby, wake up, talk to me. You're like, baby. But it's just so different, like being a wife to a man who truly loves you, and you don't even have to question that love.
Even when your insecurities try to creep in your mind, it's like, for me, I can always and you can, my husband tell you, like, I just randomly be like, my husband loves me. I know that I have to remind myself sometimes when they creep in, it's still new, but.
Or when the world comes in and your husband is like, what are you worrying for? Are you going to worry yourself to death? Okay, we're going to talk about this one time, and then we're going to be over it, and you're going to move on from this situation. Yeah. Because situations happen. Like with me, I have 3 businesses. And people often leave me standing quiet, in shock, and trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah, talking about with the different business. And
just life, in business and life, and yeah. But my husband always takes the same approach. What are you going to do, Shonda? What are you going to do? Never cares about what other people are going to do. What are you going to do? Yeah. And he keeps me focused on my life, my goals, my desires, and it keeps me from going to other people's desires and what they want from me, or having that burden, but also giving people the freedom not to live by my desires, my wants, my expectations for them. Right. Because it's their life.
Yes. So he taught you, he had those boundaries. So he taught you boundaries. He's teaching you the balance of it. Yes, that's awesome.
Yes. And I read Boundaries. I read the book. And it's probably one of the best books I've ever read. Because I had no boundaries. Mm-hmm. Whatever you wanted, that's who I could be.
Yeah. I definitely been there, done that. And learning, I think being with my husband has, like, I think I started that journey right before him, like just learning me, what do I really want? What kind of guy am I really attracted to? Because I would conform to that person. And then, along the way, I don't think I like this person.
Or even like yourself with that person.
Yes.
But then the most beautiful thing, like when I was at your wedding, what I remember is I felt the love, not so much between y'all, but the love that he had for you. Like I felt that love, and I saw, wow, she's about to have a happy, beautiful life, and it makes a difference when you're with the right person.
It does. So you're gonna bring tears to my eyes, and let me tell you, I think one of my prayers was I always wanted family. I just, I have my biological family and stuff, but, kind of growing up in foster care, not feeling like you really fit with them, or even when they start to accept you, you don't know them. Like I grew all these years without, so it's like you don't really know me, I don't really know you. So my biggest thing is what I used to pray for is like, I just want a family. I want to fit in. What I love about my husband is that his family loved him so much that, okay, you love her. They just took, and it was never like, I never questioned, like the love that they had. No matter what flaws, whatever, like I never questioned the love. It was genuine from the start when we confirmed that we were serious and he introduced me. And I am thankful for that because I felt, how you finally want to feel like you belong.
It's a gift. It's truly your gift from God. I'm like that. My husband's family, like even on holidays, I'll spend 24 hours cooking just to have a house full of people and hear the noise and excitement and the singing and the karaoke. And it means something to be a part.
Yes.
And then I worry about people because holidays are the loneliest. I'm like, I wish I could find all the people who are lonely and bring them to my house too.
I remember when I moved to Madison and you told me, you and your boys can always come here. Do you remember telling me that?
I don't, but I mean, yeah. It's like I want to say the world.
I remember you telling me and my boys can come. I never did come because, like I said, I had a lot of issues and I would withdraw. Just learning, being with Major has helped me to learn to let go of those guards, not be in survival mode. It's okay to let people in, type of thing.
It's okay to be loved.
And it's okay to be loved. Yes.
It's okay to be loved. And it's okay to love yourself.
Yes.
Because when you see yourself the way that Jesus sees you, it changes your life.
It not only changes your life, I think it starts there.
Ooh.
The love starts with loving you. And then it makes it easier for you to attract the person who's supposed to love you. And the best part of it is when you start loving you and you attract the right love, that person is going to love God just as much. It's like almost God giving you a token of the love that he has for you through a person.
How long did you and Major date?
Oh my God, we only dated a year before he proposed.
We dated over 5 years. and something, the beautiful thing is I'm happy now. But I remember I was like, if he doesn't ask to marry me in June, I'm not going to talk to him anymore. And I'm going to block him because this cow is not going to continue giving the milk away for free. But I realized in those years, that was my putting the pieces together. That was, what do I want out of my life? That was blocking everybody out and focusing just on me. Mm-hmm. So anybody was like, oh, how do you get successful businesses? Well, I don't even know if you measure businesses with success, because every day is a challenge. Mm-hmm. Like from the outside looking in, it's like, oh my gosh, you got it going on. No, you don't know what I go through every day. But to be able to leave teaching, go in trucking, go bankrupt, then start real estate. I had a real estate license even, when I was a teacher. But to watch, the Bible says that faith without works. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To watch my faith and my work, and then God comes in and blow, is such a blessing. Mm-hmm. But in those 5 years, that was my building time to be okay with me. Now, I'm building in my 40s because I'll be 52 this year.
Wow, you don't look 52. I knew you were older, because you were my teacher.
I thought you were about to say, I know you were old.
No. I knew you were older, but for some reason, I just didn't think 52. Yeah. So you look amazing.
Yeah, I was, 27, 28 when I taught you.
Yeah, and I was thinking 20, 22, 21. Definitely before 25. Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm at the stage now where I'm thinking about injections and a little fillers.
You don't need all of that. You don't need that.
It's coming. But I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your journey. I'm even proud that you're honest with your journey. Because I think when people look in and they just see you, and you're right, you're absolutely gorgeous. But people tend to look at others and then they form little jealousies and envy without knowing what you've been through. So to share your story, to share your truth, you may be saving somebody's life.
And I think for me, I think that's the goal. That's the key. You want to share your truths to help somebody else along the way, because I was always taught that the best teacher is experience. And why not learn from somebody else's experience if you don't have to go through it? And for me, it's always work. Like, I know people probably, and I thank you, because it's been a journey. I have made mistakes. I've had my ups and downs. I'm talking I went through it. But even now, it's always work.
Oh, shoot.
It's always work.
But it's not that hard.
No, but
Love is not that hard.
well, not the loving part.
Life is not that hard.
Not the loving part, but I'm talking about the work of constantly transforming my mind, seeking God daily to stay positive so I don't go back to that mindset of hurt or rejection, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't, and I tell him that, so I don't bleed out on my husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, with that, all that stuff, that baggage. And I think the journey for that part of it, or that healing part of it, started before him, but he definitely played a big role in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just constantly trying to put in the work to be better. Like, I want to be successful like you with my businesses. And
So listen, what's your affirmation? Every day, what's your affirmation?
oh my goodness, I have a few of them. Let's see. I look in the mirror, I tell myself I am beautiful and wonderfully made. God showed me how good it can get. I got my husband to tell you, I listen to affirmations while I get dressed sometimes. But definitely, I think those two, looking in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth, definitely always comes with that. Sometimes it's just Bible verses, depending on what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you got this, you got this. Cast your cares on God today. Today is going to be, that's definitely what I do. This is the day the Lord has made. I am going to be glad and I will rejoice, and I'm not going to let anger. And then I have something I listen to every morning. It's called the God's Favorite Prayer on YouTube, and I repeat that one.
Oh, good. You're going to send it to me. I'm not going to tell you my affirmation.
But now you got me wanting to just set one to make sure I say it every day. Because, see, I look in the mirror and tell myself positive stuff, because that's how the journey started for me, is listening to them and repeating it, when I went through counseling. But, yeah, I think I'm going to write one and just...
Yeah, my affirmation helped me. I used to look in the mirror. I was like, I'm Shonda Davis.
Listen.
Every day, I'm Shonda Davis.
That's like when I went to the stage of getting ready, and I always wanted to hear me some Beyonce.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Beyonce is my girl.
Yeah, she'll have you feeling yourself, especially that song. That was one.
But think about it. Beyonce is, her level of confidence is amazing. And, my husband said, I'm going to call Jay-Z and tell Jay-Z you want to marry his wife. But she's probably one of the most influential people.
She is.
Just because the diversity, and she takes the hits and she don't blow back at people, and she stayed confident in herself, and you've never seen her just snap off.
And I love that. I love that.
Even when Jay-Z was going through all that stuff with
cheating and
whatever he was going through, she made a song about the cheating part. But at the same time, she did what she wanted to do.
I love how she never addressed anything directly. It always is like, I'm not going to confirm or nothing. You read between the lines in my music if you want to, but either way, you're doing what I need you to do, which is buy the music or listen to the music,
Maybe all night.
Mine was Flawless. I still listen to Flawless.
Do you?
Or Wake Up Flawless. I be really feeling like I woke up flawless. That's my song.
I think mine was If I Were a Boy.
Yes.
I love all Beyonce's music, but I did go to the Renaissance concert, and I was like in shock. Like,
It was, I heard, because I didn't make it.
Oh my gosh. I probably wouldn't go to her country. I'm not paying $1,300 for a ticket. But to see her perform is, and I don't do concerts. I get bored in concerts. But Beyonce was so entertaining and her stamina. Girl, I can tell you everything she eat every day just to.
Be able to stay energetic.
I mean, she performed
like
all concert.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I bet that is nice to watch.
Yeah, I like her too because she opens up about even her hurts. Like if you watch some of her stuff, like she'll cry, and I just like Beyonce. That's
me too.
I just to watch her growth too because when she first started, I was like, "Ooh, girl, you better stop talking."
And she has really, yeah, she has. And I think I like one of the things you said is how she carried herself, and I think because that's something I think I picked up from like you and other people. You don't have to like every action doesn't need a reaction. It doesn't. You don't have to go off on people, and you can address things in such a classy way. You know, you always been definition of class.
Girl, please.
Yes, you have.
Not me.
I have seen
now I'm at. Is that all you got? That's it. That's all you got. But usually, you know, I was defending myself.
But it's not what you said, it's how you said it. You did it in such a way. I still thought it was classy.
I must have done it in a way around you that was classy.
Yeah.
But that's not what I remember about me. I was a fighter. But you know the thing about it, the beautiful thing is God, as you get older, you learn that you have destiny. You have a destiny. And you don't want to forfeit your destiny by not following God's plan for your life.
That's true. That's true.
You don't want to be. There are so many distractions. And people would be considered one of them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People are distractions.
And they let the enemy work through them to try to get to you. Man, listen, I went through, so my brother passed, I want to say he'll be gone. Oh my goodness. Is it 2 years this year? I think it was a year last year. So 2 years this year, right? My little brother. And a girl, the day that we're going to view the body, went live talking so much mess about me. Yeah. You know how hard that was?
Oh, girl, see, you should have called me because I would have been honest. You know,
that was
don't
so
be messing with my girl.
That was so hard, though. And what it was, like my biological mom deals with so many different people. And so the person she was dealing with is known to steal. Mm-hmm. It's not like I tarnish your brand or anything about stealing. And so when she came to my house, something came up missing. And all I said to her face was, "You're no longer welcome in here. I don't want you here because certain things came up missing. And the only new face that comes in my home was you." Mm-hmm. She didn't say anything there.
Oh, she went live on
But
you.
she went live.
She went live on you.
And I wanted to so bad to revert back to the fighter Janari, the angry Janari. But you know what? I mean, because I had so many emotions going on during that time that my brother passed.
That's life changing.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know, my cousin, we were raised as sisters, and Dora's daughter got killed. And it was life changing. Yeah. You almost don't even okay, you don't worry about too much because you go through the loss of a sibling. Mm-hmm. It's different than the loss of a parent. It's life changing.
For my brother to pass, it was, and again, I'm learning. I'm still in the area of learning to allow, to let go and allow people in. But for me, it's always dealing with stuff. I will block stuff out.
It's hard.
And so seeing him in the situation it would hurt me to see him like that. So I would block it out. And I was praying for him. And I think what caught me from shock was, I was praying that God heal him. Like heal his mental and stuff, and then in my mind, I'll be able to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And so when he died, it was like we didn't see it coming. That day never came to where I thought I was going to be able to, deal with that. But I thank God for the peace that He gave me with it because it was like even He still healed him. He still healed him. He just, He's in heaven. He healed. He didn't heal him the way I thought He would, but He's healed. He's whole again. The stuff that they said about, I knew he knew God. So I found my peace. But yeah, and then just learning when people attack you like that, and to keep. I think my strength came from God because part of my flesh was like, okay, and then the other part was like, they don't even deserve a reaction. They're not even where I'm supposed to
Girl,
be
I've been
at, where
there.
I'm at, or nothing. Like, why am I even
I
gonna
had
address them?
very dear friends that worked with me turn on me on my birthday.
Wow.
Well, my husband spent $10,000 for a house for us for a week to celebrate my birthday. Then my sister died. Then 2 months later, my cousin died. It was the three of us. We were really close. Then people were calling me, asking me, did I have survivor's remorse?
Oh wow.
And then my best friend died. And so my husband, probably a year passed, and he said, okay, so I watched you. You got one choice. Well, you got two. He said, you got one foot in the grave. He said, you can put the other foot in the grave, or you can take the foot out of the grave, and why don't you start living? Because you can't change anything. You can't change that Shell and Monty are gone and Bridget. You can't change that people turned on you. You can't even change how you responded to it, and you probably could have done so much better in your response. You can't even change if you were the reason for whatever situation, but it's still your choice either to die or live. Because he was like, for a year, you have been the walking dead. And he said it so calm. I was on the couch. He was watching TV. So, darling, it's been a year. You got one foot in the grave. Got to make a choice. Yeah. Either you're going to put both on in and go and die, you're going to take that foot out and live.
Wow. And
that was
definitely
deep.
It was.
It was life changing for me. Life change. And you're talking about somebody who lost his wife, 2 brothers, all around the same time frame. So when people haven't been where I've been, you can't really tell me anything. But my husband had, and he had to choose to live.
That is good. That is deep.
That was deep.
That was deep. I think for me, I always find a way to push through. Like I didn't recognize my strength until it was said, you're pretty strong, right? Like, most people don't go through that or they don't survive that, and you're still, and it was like, really? Like, I'm just surviving. I'm like, losing to me, or it just wasn't a choice. It just, you have to keep going. I had those babies. I have so much to go for, and my mom was depending on me. And when it comes to people like putting me down, I learned to just tune them out because people will tear you down. You wasn't this, you wasn't that. You were supposed to do this. You're supposed to grieve like this. All this other stuff is like, no, you don't tell me what to do.
So you feel like you still surviving?
I am learning. I think I am. God is teaching me to turn from survival to thriving because I am really been thriving now. I have no reason to be in survival mode. It's just I am still learning to let that part, different areas of my life, to let it go.
It's the best place in the world when yesterday was yesterday and you don't even remember it. Yeah, yesterday is yesterday and you don't even remember it. Every day is a new day and it's fresh and it's new and you're excited about living.
I just love you, yes.
And when you can turn Beyonce you be all night and dance around the house and you really don't have a care in the world. Like in my head, in my world, you take finances, you take relationships, you take just life, and you just know it's going to be okay. Because you got a choice. Either you're going to walk around for 40 years, or you're going to really believe that God got a promised land for you and just walk into it without complaining. Yeah. And knowing that so many times he's brought us through. So what is different?
How do you get to that mindset of just yesterday was yesterday, living on today, each day, like...
Was it Jesus who said he doesn't have a reputation? I have no reputation. Was it Jesus? Yeah. Wait a minute. Was it Jesus? Let's ask the bishop's grandson. Was it Jesus that said, I have no reputation? Yeah, if it wasn't Jesus, it was a disciple. You can look it up.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, that's how I feel now. I have no reputation. You can say whatever you want to say about me. I don't care.
See, that's good.
I don't have to defend you. You're a person. Oh, let me tell you what changed my life.
Tell me.
Okay, I was playing poker, and there's this guy named Bobby Boucher. And Bobby Boucher is this really skinny, dark guy. He had plaits just going everywhere. And Bobby Boucher had busted out of the game. And he was fixing food, and the food is for the game. And so they were like, man, Bobby, you can't be taking to-go plates home. Bobby kept fixing. And I love Bobby Boucher because I watched him develop. He ended up going to jail for whatever reason. And he used to talk about his job at Polaris. So he got a job at Polaris. And every time I saw him, I wanted to know what happened at Polaris. Like, what did you do today? Did they put you in a manager's role? Did you learn something new? And everybody be like, Shonda, shut up. Nobody don't want to hear about Bobby Boucher's life. But I was so intrigued. And so he's fixing his plate. And so they just started talking about him, people at the game. I was like, Bobby Boucher, you don't care about these folks talking about you and ragging you like that? He turned around and he said, Miss Shonda, when I got out of jail, I lived under a bridge and nobody helped me. I had to pull myself up by my bootstrap. And why do I care about what a dead man got to say?
Oh, that's good.
He said, everybody in here, they're going to one day die. Why do I care about what a dead man got to say? That was it for me. Yes. That was so, and it's amazing because it came out of Bobby Boucher's mouth. A person that nobody wanted to hear from or talk to, but me. I was so intrigued, and he changed my life with that statement. Wow. And every time folks, I'd be like, in my head, you're a dead man.
And see, I think I've conquered that part. Not letting people get to me what they got to say, not even giving reactions, I think I have definitely matured to that part of it. I think I'm still in the transformation of the part of the mindset where I don't get to myself. I think sometimes I get to my own self.
You gotta look at your blessings, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta look
and focus on the positive. That's what I'm teaching myself
blessings.
now. Yeah.
Like right now, like in my head, I'm in this bubble. Mm-hmm. I'm in this bubble. And in the bubble is my aunt, my niece and nephews, my husband, my kids, my grandkids, my husband's family. That's my bubble. Mm-hmm. That's who I care about. That's who I truly love, and I know they will be there. So even when agents leave, and shoot, I know 3 that won't. Shonda, Telly, and Sierra.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good.
And I know that if I get 20 sales out of the company, then God can make it where I get 25 out of 3 of us. Yeah. And I think like that. I mean, like I am going to one day have a convertible, and I'm going to drive in the rain. With the top down.
With the top down, yes.
Yes. And, I wanted to drive in the rain on my motorcycle. I got a motorcycle. I probably will sell it just because my kids don't want me to ride anymore. But it was the best feeling to feel the rain come on my body. Yes. I mean, it's just beautiful. Just walking outside and hearing birds chirp and
that's me.
Feeling the breeze on your face.
And those similarities that we got. Like I love nature. I can go out and be sitting there and I'll be feeling the sun and I'll open my eyes and I see a butterfly and I'll be like, that's a sign from God.
Yeah.
That, whatever, I might have been thinking.
What does butterflies mean?
I think they mean, without looking, newness, change, progression.
That's exactly what it means.
So that type of stuff, when I see that, it lets me know like I'm on the right path. Talking to you today lets me know I'm on the right path. Yeah. And just being able to appreciate the growth, the progress, and just knowing, I'm on my way.
What would you do if you were at a professional game and you fell down the bleachers?
Me being Denard, I'd probably jump back up and just dance and do some silly. I probably would.
We are definitely the same person.
And do some silly, make everybody keep laughing and go on.
We are definitely the same person. But it's a beautiful thing when you wake up every day and you have purpose. And we all have jobs. Mm-hmm. They're relevant because you can always change your job.
That's true.
But to walk every single day. I remember when I was a teacher and I wanted all these things, and I walked in the mall and I was like, oh my gosh, like how does somebody pay $1,800 for shoes? One day I want to be that way. Now I can go buy a whole store $1,800 red bottoms. Mm-hmm. And I bought one pair and they hurt my feet so bad I gave them away.
And you don't even want them.
I don't even want them. I don't want chippy shoes. I don't want red bottoms. Right. I mean, the thing about it is when you can, you don't want. And now I'm able just to see the beauty
A
of
lot.
life. And I
Yes.
think so many people, like me, I look at people like I don't care your financial status. I don't care your socioeconomic status. I definitely don't care about your race or your ethnicity. I feel like we are still people. And God works through people. And if you negate a person because you're looking down on them, you may have missed your blessing. Because Bobby Boucher was one of the greatest blessings in my life,
Yes.
where everybody else was mistreating him. I owe Bobby Boucher.
Wow.
He was life changing to me. And it got me to stop looking at people as up here. Because the same blessing God gave to me, he can give to you. And God is not a respecter of person.
He's not. That
All
is
you
not.
need is faith.
I was just going to say that.
As
Faith.
small
As
as a mustard seed.
That's so true. That's all you got to do. And hold on to that faith and know that it's possible. Nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is too far or too far of a reach for you. I think that's something that I came to grips with and kept going with it. Like, I can do it.
You got to.
If they did, I can do it. I can keep going. Like, yes.
Or what if you can just do it? Regardless of what other people do. And I've learned, don't look to the left or right. Like your race is your race. Your race is